Welcome, my lovely souls. Hope you're all doing well. I'm feeling the need to come in and just share a little bit of what's happening energetically, astrologically, and how that will be playing out for you potentially. So I certainly felt these energies yesterday. So I am certainly going through probably the healing aspect of that now, as it's the awareness that's come through. So the aftermath a little bit, I guess. So what we have going on, I go from it astrologically, it's not my expertise, however, it will draw an understanding of what is going through. So we have Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Pluto, or Hades, or however it's been described, is kind of the earth shaker. It brings things up into the surface to be seen, to be felt, to be understood, and to be transformed. It's been going through since 2008. It through Capricorn, which is a patriarchal system. So it's been going through our systems, highlighting all the greed, all the corruption that is basically in our systems to be seen and to be transformed. It's now in Aquarius, and Aquarius is to do about, again, transformation, equality, equilibrium, balance, justice, self-liberation, all these kind of pointers. But what I want to bring on is that it links to the element of air, which has actually surprised me because you'd think it's water. But it is a water bearer. So between the two, it's the heart and the emotions, which is the heart and the sacrum when it comes to the body. So our reproduction organs and our heart. So it's bringing in the connection of the two, okay? You then have Chiron, I believe it's pronounced, which is called the wounded healer. That's taken, bringing things up through, which is kind of seen as what it carries our ancestral lineage. It's our old wounds that need to be finally healed. And we're seeing this playing out in the collective, where just old wounds are coming up to be played again. And it's not to continue the cycle, it's to actually bring healing to it and, bringing peace to it. So we are at this tip of our karmic cycle to recognize what we're carrying, what old wounds that we're carrying, that no longer serve us, and that they're the illusions, they're not our truth. And another thing, we've also got Mars coming in as well, which is the fire element, which is certainly something that activated itself in me yesterday. So the reason why I'm really trying to go through all this is actually I talk about our choice is our power. Our awareness is our superpower. And the more aware that we can be of what is going on with ourselves, the more conscious we can be to make changes, okay? If we aren't aware, we just continue these cycles and they just keep repeating themselves and we stay in this merry-go-round and loop of karmic cycle. So we have to recognize that stuff that gets triggered is there to be healed, is to be transformed. It's not our old story, it's not our truth, okay? So the element of air, which is Aquarius, links to the heart chakra, okay? The heart itself is linked from a Chinese elemental theory is fire. So we've got heart, emotions, we have fire, we have a wounded healer, we have Pluto as a bring it all up to the surface, as it were. So we've got a bit of a cocktail going on here, okay, of mass healing, okay, for us individually and collectively. Now, we can affect the collective by doing our own individual healing. And so the real point is here is if you start getting triggered, if you start feeling angry, if you start feeling really kind of like you're off, it's like litmus paper just being lit, you explode, it's very explosive, okay? So when that's happening, you're not really conscious, you're playing out your subconscious, okay, which acts for 99.9% of our thoughts and our actions. So we really, in terms of our healing, need to tap into that subconscious and make sure the coordinates of it are singing to the tune that we desire. Okay, so we're in this whole new year from a dragon year, new wood dragon year, Chinese New Year. We're in about visionary, revolutionary. It's about really releasing and healing ourselves, okay? Massive transformation. The victim energy I've talked about, that will be coming out through our systems to be healed, to empower ourselves and to liberate ourselves. So with me, with my house, that I recognized it was all about communication and my voice. What was triggered for me yesterday was that I felt that my voice wasn't being heard, that it wasn't being valued or respected. So, but it felt like my truth at the time, and off the explosion went. So thank you, Mars, Chiron, everything else, bringing that in. But it was to show me what the shadows that I was carrying, so that's Pluto, bringing up what is to the antagonist of what I want to be. So I want to be out here, I want to be communicating, I want to be heard and valued in what I say. And that is my desire. That's what I want to empower other people, to empower themselves, to connect and express their desires. And that's how I feel in my purpose and my passion. However, it's the old beliefs that I'm not worthy, my voice isn't worth hearing. It's also ancestral that's coming up. So, you know, that will be playing out for us. So in our unconscious body, we are holding trauma through our ancestors, our generations. And if you think the voice and our expression has really been curtailed, it's interesting, we're sort of going through it now in a shaming way. So they can't chop your head off for it nowadays. Yet, well, in some countries they do, but in our democratic society, we don't have your heads chopped off, but you're shamed to be silenced. And it's been made very difficult to have an opinion, to express something, unless it's set to the acceptable, as it were. Whereas I think, I'm diverting slightly here, I believe that we need to have as much open communication to have a compassionate space for people to express. And if they do come with different belief patterns, it's not about shaming and ostracizing and saying no. It's like, well, okay, let's talk about this consciously. Let's see what belief systems that have you separated from others, so that we can start seeing each other as individual souls, to respect more honestly and more openly, and connect and know that how we affect ourselves and to another affects everything. So that's where, what I believe, the communities, the spaces that we need to create for each other, to see, okay, what am I carrying that no longer serves? And not to hide that in shame, and actually bring it up and go, oh, okay, this is an old belief system, it's not my truth, I understand that. And we can only do that in a loving, safe, compassionate space, because otherwise we won't do it, because we fear that voice. So going back to where I came from is actually our voices haven't been allowed, we've not been allowed to express. And women especially, so coming through the female lineage, we had the witch trials. You had women aren't able to express their spirituality, their gifts, and it was, well, people were killed for it. You know, I think about 60,000 women in the UK alone experienced this trauma. So there's a huge amount of trauma. And then it's not just for the females, but that's a massive part of it, which, you know, I will be experiencing to heal and to work through, to know that I'm safe to express my truth. And so each of you will be carrying some form of ancestral lineage trauma, that it's so ingrained in our bodies and our cellular that we aren't conscious of it. So we are going through a huge transformation, which sounds lovely, But like the old caterpillar, it has to sort of turn to mush before the wings grow. So when we recognize quite quickly and are aware of this transformation, it can move through you really quickly. However, if you're not aware and you are continuing the cycle of believing this is my pattern, this is just what's my life, you just keep creating neural plasticity and connection to that, which deepens these belief systems that aren't your truth. So, and interestingly, as we vibrate a certain way in terms of our subconscious will have an energetic vibration, that's what we're receiving. So interestingly, we will have a belief system that isn't true, yet creates experiences that highlight that reflect that, which then we take on again and think it's our truth. So I'm not worthy, or only bad things happen to me. All that BS bullshit, belief systems will be coming up. But we have to know that it's not our truth. Our truth is love, joy, and peace. Okay, this is who we are. We are. When you go through your body, you go through the microbiome, the bacteria that actually gives us the energy to be alive. In there is light. So we've gone from a real micro perspective to suddenly become to this huge aspect of light where we are all light. We are all points of singularity of light. So then we just explode into this massive macro perspective. So we have to really understand that we're not, our sense of identity, the labeling, we need to start letting go of this, okay? And really start looking at what you desire, what you wish to be the vision. What do you want to set in place for the next 4 years and onwards? Not just for yourself, but for your community, for your family, for the world, wherever it is that is instigating within you. And then know when you sow those seeds, you will have these aspects, the shadows that will come up and show you what no longer serves you, okay? And the more aware you are, as I say, the quicker you can go through that transformation, that healing, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So I will just say grounded, keep grounded, try and breathe as much as you can and give yourself rest when you can, just because we're still in like midst of winter, spring. I know it's showing signs, but our bodies still needs that rest and rejuvenation, especially if you're going through these cyclic or these trauma wounding. Your body will need more rest. It will need good quality food. You'll need to keep hydrated. So put a little bit of Himalayan rock salt with some lemon, which activates the water to help your cells cleanse and clear and give you the energy that you need. And journal. Just journal your crap down, okay? Because then you might start seeing the patterns of like, oh, I get it. By giving yourself that space, you can start seeing things more consciously and have more awareness. Because if you don't do that, you'll probably start having the most random dreams, because it will start communicating to you through your dreams, if you're not spending time in the more awakened state to understand it. So just know that there's probably going to be a lot of healing going on right now. And know that it's for your highest good, okay? So you can go, okay, I feel like the shit has really hit the storm here. My God, I cannot see what's going on. So just ask to be shown to your highest good. Thank you for showing me what I need to know today. Thank you for giving me the guidance of the highest love, joy, peace, what I need to do today. Just really seek and ask for that. Because again, the wood dragon is all about spiritual realms and connections. So it's really start to know that you're not alone and that there's this huge, massive support ready, waiting in the wings to support you, okay? So sometimes we just have to surrender. In fact, we have to surrender all the time, but we have to trust and listen. So I hope that's been of help, and just give yourself some compassion throughout this week, because I think there's some more planets coming in to give it a good old mix. So yeah, just be gentle with yourself and know that if it's negative, it's not love, joy, and peace. It's an old pattern coming up for you to heal. It is not your truth. Okay, so there we go. I think that's done. And if you're listening to me still and you want to feel more empowered in just your awareness, just to start taking hold of your life and going, right, I choose to be healthier. I want healthier, more meaningful, loving relationships. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just the one partner. It can be with your family and different people or friends. But equally, it's the relationship with yourself that is key, and your work and your purpose and what you're here for, wherever you are in your journey right now. My course, The Love to Heal, which is listen, observe, visualize, empower. Okay, it's about listening and observing yourself and your body, and bringing in the visualization through the power of guided meditation and the visualization journeys to change your neuroplasticity in your brain and the whole connection of your body, that it's in coherence to what you desire. Okay, so it's gives you the space to see what old patterns you're carrying, then understanding what you desire, and then bringing in the meditation to bring that in, and it works through the energy chakra system. Okay, so if this is appealing to you, you can just go and purchase it now on the infinityhealthhub.com. It's £77. It's 21 days that you can take at your own speed. You can take little bits here and there, whatever you need to do. Just know that whatever the information and the meditations you can do, just fit it into your patterns, into your self-care. But at least it's a toolkit that you can lean into when you need that guidance. Okay, so like I say, the infinityhealthhub.com, it's Love to Heal, it's £77, and it's working through your health empowerment, your love and your relationships and your work and your purpose, which when they loop in all together, it affects your whole life, your whole being. So the more you're aware of all those aspects in your life, the more empowered you are, and you start creating a life that you desire. Okay, so lots of love. Thank you for listening, and take it easy. Bye bye.